some nice brown sugar, honestly. Just brown sugar. Yeah.
think I've ever really enjoyed bubble tea or like got into it enough.
Really?
Really.
Yeah, it's been my thing, honestly. I've been like, I was like very, very early into it. Like when there's only one store in my like city, and I've been like a very, very big fan of it for a while. So I was like so happy when it on. There was a shop opening up right behind my house. So it was like one of the coolest things. So I was like super stoked about it.
What about you, Dion? Are you big into bubble tea at all?
Dude, I just, I guess, recently got into it. Like before I moved to San Francisco, I'd never been.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, but I like it a lot. I really love milkshakes and like sweet drinks.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely partake.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I do like milkshakes. I don't know the jelly bubble things, are, like weird
It's
texture in my mouth.
Yeah, no, same. Even for me,
hard to get
when I
used to.
first got into it, yeah, when I first got into it, I didn't really enjoy it that much either. But I don't know. Once I started having it a little bit more, I became like a big fan of it. Honestly, it's kind of like sushi. Like I feel like there's quite a bit of people as well for sushi who just don't like it at first because it's kind of an acquired taste to it. But once you start having it more, you love it. So it's like I don't know. Kind of feel like tapioca is kind of the same thing.
Okay, okay, I can see that. I can see that. There aren't many bubble tea places around where I live either, so I guess
Oh really?
I'm not like around it too much.
I expect there to be quite a bit in New York, honestly.
Well, I'm not close to the city.
Yeah,
I'm like more kind of closer to the beach, the shore area.
Awesome.
What are these Bobo things? Bobo Degen Apocalypse.
Dude, I bought Bobo DJ.
Oh, you bought some NFTs today?
I got okay, Bobo DJ Apocalypse. Yeah, I might be sweeping some of this. I did. I bought Moody's.
Moody's, okay.
Yeah, I bought them at point one. They're currently 0.23. I will post
Nice.
here. There was some so like basically the mint was pay what you feel, and I missed mint.
Uh-huh.
Kind of bummed. But so basically a lot of people just got them for free. But this artist apparently has like a deal with Netflix. The Bored Ape people are into him and own a lot. Seneca just bought a bunch and swept, and they reveal on Friday.
Oh, wow.
So I'm kind of excited for them. I think I might hold on to it.
Hmm.
But yeah, I saw people talking about it in the one I just ate then.
Nice. I'm actually looking at these MV3s again, the MV3 universe,
Oh yeah.
because apparently they're looking to create an IP, and the team behind it, one of them is like the person who created 11 in Stranger Things, like
No
did all the
way.
writing for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that's really great. Okay.
And so I'm definitely interested in that. And they're not that expensive either right now, 0.25.
Nice.
See where my Dirty Taco NFT is at.
Is that the taco place that like allows you to like reserve?
Yeah,
Nice. That's cool.
I have a couple of them. I mean, they're still at the mint price right now. Not many for sale
Oh yeah, this Bobo Degenerate Apocalypse looks like absolute garbage.
though.
lots of boba boys.
How are these
Add
killer
extra brown
bears looking
sugar in
right
mine,
now?
and it is fire.
All
Oh,
right.
that looks good, man.
It is
Let me
very
see.
good.
Let me see. Oh, wow. That is a tall one, too.
Yeah, always a large for me.
I'm jealous. Does look very good. Did you hear that stuff about, what is it? Tornado Cash?
I heard it. I don't really understand it though. Essentially, Tornado Cash is just like blacklisting, or like if you use Tornado Cash, then your address is blacklisted in some
Uh,
capacity.
I think it's more that the FBI has warned or like indicated that Tornado Cash is to be blacklisted in the United States, the website.
Whack.
And so anybody who uses it would end up kind of getting investigated, or they would have to investigate it because it's potentially a avenue for money laundering and whatnot. Because you know the way Tornado Cash works, right?
Um, I know in affect you put your money in to then kind of tornado it to a different address to not have to deal with to like completely anonymize your money, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. And so that's a big problem, obviously, for
Yeah.
governments and whatnot. But apparently there are, I don't know if you want to call them white hats or gray hats, that are basically just sending everybody Ethereum via Tornado Cash. And
Huh.
especially sending it to like high profile users who have .eth addresses or are known NFT holders. So
That's kind of damn. Okay.
so
Very
Yeah,
interesting.
just damn.
basically it's like obviously making it harder for the investigators, but kind of eliminating the ability to really say that it's blacklisted if everybody has some. They can't really kind of look into it. I don't know. Seems like a very interesting development, so to speak. Coming at you all the way from Arbitrum, it's the Magic Hour Podcast.
This is Alan.
Dionysus.
And Breaker. Produced by Digital Strategies Guild. Well, Magic Hour listeners, I hope you were enjoying a little bit of the banter before we got started with this episode. But we're back. Happy summer to everybody. I think everybody's been taking a little break, regrouping a little bit, getting some nice R&R. We definitely have some great guests lined up for you in the coming weeks. I know we're trying to get Realm on the pod. We're going to be speaking with LifeDAO. And I think we're going to try and get some other special guests and maybe even branch out a little bit. So please continue to listen. But guys, how's it going? How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. It's honestly such a great feeling to be back and talking with you guys. It seems like NFTs are, at least on layer one, are back in some capacity. There's been a lot of positive mints that have occurred in the last couple of days, and I think that's exciting. And hopefully, that will overflow into layer twos.
Yeah, honestly, same what Dion was saying. Feels awesome to be back. I'm happy. I missed recording with all both of you two, and just took some time off the computer. Definitely had some traveling to do, so that was also quite a bit of an enjoyment. And honestly, just ready to catch back on things and get back on the horse because I see some stuff kind of acting up, and obviously the Magic Hour podcast has to be the first ones to react and get their info on it for all our listeners out there. So we gotta get back on our chairs to put some work in on this.
You got that right, Alan. And, I think it's a really good time too because just yesterday we learned that Magic is pumping for no real particular reason other than it seems like the Nitro update for Arbitrum is on the horizon. And so I think that there's a lot of interest in Magic because of that. And I'll attribute that to Dion because Dion, I think you had mentioned that. Do you have any more information there?
Yeah, I think Magic is pumping kind of because of this. I think it's a rotation of interest. The OP token for Optimism pumped recently, and a
Mhm.
few other like layer two solutions. And I think that with Nitro coming out on August 31st, and also the Arbitrum Odyssey coming, basically reinstating because it started for like a week or two and then it went on pause. So
Mhm.
the Odyssey is coming back also on the 31st, which will be a great test run of Nitro. I think people are starting to invest more in coins on the Arbitrum ecosystem, including Magic and GMX, and I think even DopeX as well, which are other protocols. So I think that's exciting, and we'll probably continue to see rotation of money to those coins.
For sure. For sure. And, I know that optimism is kind of in the forefront, but I think there might be an Arbitrum token dropping too. Is that true?
Yeah, and I think that it's largely theorized right now that participation in the Arbitrum Odyssey will be not necessarily the only prerequisite, but a large prerequisite in getting some of those tokens that airdrop. So I believe that there's 16 NFTs that are associated with the Arbitrum Odyssey, in addition with the plausible airdrop allocation.
Okay.
And as far as I believe, I think Nova just dropped as well for Arbitrum today as well. So the Nitro whole concept, and I saw the whole website and the UI and stuff, and honestly, it looked very intriguing. So I was kind of excited to see some stuff like that as well. And there's like this whole block explorer, and they have like a whole bridge platform on the website as well. So honestly, I'm just excited to see what Arbitrum continues to build. It seems like they're definitely doing something right, because things are starting to get more attraction than far more than what we've seen, at least from earlier. And it's definitely giving a lot of people hope during the times that we're having right now. And it's something to definitely look forward to. And I feel like why one of these things are kind of more important is just because it gives everyone's wandering heads right now some derived focus to kind of learning towards. And if Arbitrum is one of those main things that everyone's focusing on, then it's going to turn a lot more heads than there were if a bunch of things were kind of happening at once. So it's kind of happy to see that one specific thing is happening, and that's happening for Arbitrum as well. So I'm glad to kind of see that.
So I'm glad that you actually brought that up, because I was reading earlier today about Reddit and FTX partnering to kind of tokenize their subreddits. And something that I noticed on the Nova website is that they have FTX and Reddit both listed there. So
Yeah.
I think that this partnership between FTX and Reddit will be running on this Nova chain, which, if you go to the Nova website and read their documents, which is nova.arbitrum.io. So apparently this Nova chain is what's known as an AnyTrust chain, but it is still part of the Arbitrum network. It's just a separate chain. And really, there's a trade-off between decentralization and transaction costs, whereas roll-up chains will inherit their security directly from layer 1 without introducing any new trust assumptions, whereas an AnyTrust chain introduce their own security assumptions and are thus able to charge users lower fees. So I think that that's very interesting, and I think that that's really a big deal, because Reddit is one of the largest social networks in the world, I think, and them partnering with Nova and Arbitrum is going to be big for this ecosystem. That's my take.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think in addition to that, one of the things that could have cool implications for Magic specifically is that Nova, they're looking for it to be the premier solution for Web3 gaming and social applications. So again, all of those transactions that we're doing in Bridge World and for all of the other associated games to Magic, I think that's going to be really exciting to see what builders come in and how we can use that to our advantage.
And a
Definitely.
branch that kind of leads on to that actually is, again, we'll link all the websites and stuff into the descriptions after once we're done the episode. But continuing to what I was saying was one of the the Nova portals inside the website. I would not be surprised if I saw Magic's actual website being inputted there very, very soon as well, especially with these things releasing. I actually believe that or not Magic, specifically Treasure, I'd say, or Trove now, would be one of the first to be actually launched on there, as obviously Trove is one of the biggest platforms for this ecosystem within Arbitrum. So I would actually not be surprised at all seeing it be one of the first things within that portal. And it
Yeah.
just kind of shows all the coinciding things within Arbitrum Nova portal right now. Like they have Coinbase Wallet, DAI, FTX, Reddit, basically all the collabs that they already have with all of the other, I guess you could, I don't want to call them companies, but I guess you can call it that for now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I definitely would like seeing a Treasure or Trove, I should call it now, popping up on here sometime soon.
That would be awesome. So, we started this conversation talking about how the price of Magic pumped yesterday. Yesterday, it hit 90 cents.
Yeah.
And yesterday being Monday, August 8th. Today, it is back down to 71 cents. So the rally was slightly short-lived. Not to say that it can pump again, but it was surprising to just jump that high and then have people sell out. But I guess maybe there were a lot of people who bought at very low and saw 90 and were like, "Oh, this is a good time to sell." So
Yeah, no, that's a really good observation. On August 2nd, it was 42 cents. So it had a 2x essentially within a week,
yeah,
which was extremely impressive and very reminiscent of last winter slash the
Mhm.
spring.
It definitely brought some light into our eyes. I guess you could call it. Definitely memories pop back in from seeing that small little pump. But
Yeah.
again, hopefully it's not the last one. Let's just say that for sure. And
Mhm.
hopefully we're definitely going to see a lot more coming soon with everything going on with Arbitrum and Nitro.
Right. Well, it does kind of bring us to the larger conversation about what's going on in the crypto space as a whole. We always talk about the macro. We know that the Ethereum merge is coming up, and I think that's a very big deal. I think we can all agree that that's a very big deal. And, I wouldn't say there's a lot of uncertainty. We've certainly discussed it together. I don't know if we've discussed it on the pod, but how do you guys feel just about the merge in general? Are you nervous, excited, kind of I don't care, I don't know? What's your barometer at right now regarding the merge?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think I'm excited about it because when I first joined crypto, I remember hearing about the merge and being like, I have no idea what this is, but people talking so bullish about it and how it's essentially like the next evolutionary step for the Ethereum and like this layer one. And I'm going to be honest, my understanding and knowledge of it has only grown minimally since
Hmm.
that first exposure to what the merge is and how it could affect Ethereum. And I'm excited for it. I don't know if I'm necessarily bullish or bearish on the execution of the merge and kind of post merge for Ethereum, but I'm excited to see the chain grow, and I'm definitely going to wait on the sidelines to see where the dust settles before I choose to invest or gamble in that market.
Yeah, I kind of secondhand what Dion's saying. It's exactly the same thing for me as well. I kind of heard of the merge happening right when I got into crypto as well, and specifically started learning more about Ethereum. And again, now seeing it finally come to play, I want to be optimistic, thinking that this will be one of the bigger things that are happening and can possibly even change a big portion of just the face of crypto. Honestly, seeing just a big change happening within Ethereum, I think can change a lot of things for possibly the good or the bad, even who knows. And again, same thing. I want to kind of remain on the sidelines, but be optimistic that these things are definitely going to be better for Ethereum in the future. And my trust is within Vitalik to see if he can definitely play his cards out right with this one and see how things go for it. But definitely going to wait on the sidelines to see what's going on and kind of understand more of what is actually operating within the merge. Because again, I do still have minimal information on how everything is going to be turning out within it. But I feel like it's definitely going to be a good change for Ethereum.
I mean, I agree with both you guys. I think this is a huge thing for Ethereum. I think it's really going to take control of the narrative in crypto for at least a couple weeks. I like you guys have been hearing about the merge for quite a while too. But one thing that I read the other day, and I'm just trying to find the information, was this is going to be the first triple halvening at the time of this merge. And before we get into that, I just want to say that I'm personally also really excited because if we move to proof of stake, that's going to eliminate the quote unquote climate issue complaint that most anti crypto people have. And I think that that's a huge, huge thing, especially for legitimacy purposes and to really just shut up the haters. I think that they can say it all they want, but the proof is in the pudding, right? If it's operating without any mining computers, then it's carbon neutral at best,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
Our energy efficiency is also at its max at that point. So
Yeah.
that's a
So
that's a really good point.
I mean, yeah, I think that I think it's super important, and I'm very pro environment. And listen, I understand, but I also understand that listen, crypto isn't the only thing that's detrimental to the environment, right? There
definitely.
are many things, right? So you can complain all you want about crypto, but I think that there's more benefit in crypto than some other things that we're doing that are also harmful to the environment.
Yeah.
But here's what I read about the triple halvening, and this is very interesting. So I mean, were you guys around when Bitcoin forked into BCH way back when?
No, I was not.
Okay. But you are familiar about the halvenings, right? Like when
Of course.
the block rewards get reduced.
Yes.
Okay, so similarly, this isn't a fork, so to speak. So basically, so I think it started about 2 years ago. Something called the beacon chain was started. And this is basically ETH 2.0. And the beacon chain is an exact copy of the current Ethereum blockchain. Excuse me, that's not correct. The beacon chain is recording the Ethereum main chain. But the way I understand it is the beacon chain is going to be the main Ethereum chain moving forward. And the existing Ethereum chain that we're on right now, that we interact with on a daily basis, that's going to be one of many kind of, I guess you want to say, layer one chains on top of this beacon chain, so to speak. And so that's how they're going to be able to scale, because they're going to be multiple chains all rolling back to this one beacon chain. That's how I understand it.
So it's basically kind of like a tree
Yeah.
systematic, essentially.
Yeah. And so with that in mind, what's going to happen is when this merge takes place, currently the reward per Ethereum block is 2 Ethereum. Okay? There are about 6,500 Ethereum blocks mined in a day, and that means there's about 13,000 new Ethereum issued every day, which at current prices amounts to about 23 million US dollars paid to the miners. Okay? So right there alone, the supply of ETH increases about 4.3%. But then on top of that, there's a lot of sell pressure, because now the miners are getting a significant amount of Ethereum per day. And obviously they have bills to pay, so they're probably going to sell the Ethereum, right?
Yep.
Now here's where it gets interesting. When we go into this merge, the annual issuance of ETH will drop from 4.3% to an estimated 0.4% post-merge. And the reason for that is there's going to be less energy to run, so we don't have to pay as much for the blocks. This hopefully will have an effect on gas prices as well, but there is going to be a 10x reduction in daily sell pressure by the Ethereum miners, which at first we probably won't see that, because I think at first we will likely see a lot more Ethereum sold, especially from these miners, because they're if they want to continue running their mining operations, they're probably going to go somewhere else. But they're also probably going to get rid of their Ethereum if they don't need it, right?
Yeah.
And so there's going to be more sell pressure up front, but that will dwindle off because there's going to be less Ethereum entering into the ecosystem, which means that the tokens themselves will be more scarce, and that should cause the price to really go up a lot.
Got it. I think I understand. So one of the things that I'm also understanding is the amount of ETH kind of entering into the system is going to be significantly reduced.
Yeah.
Right.
So if it's 13,000 now per day, and it's a 10x reduction, that's going to be what, 1,300, or maybe 1,300 now.
Got it. So my understanding and the narrative that I've heard around Ethereum is that it has a potential to make Ethereum deflationary under certain specific cases, right? Like high
Yes.
network usage.
Yes, because with one of the recent EIP upgrades, they changed the way gas is handled. It used to be gas fees collected were distributed to the miners. Now, gas fees collected burned.
Got it. So there could be more Ethereum exiting the system than miners are really introducing into the system, and as a result, that would also
becomes deflationary.
Exactly.
Deflationary and becomes more valuable.
Got it. And that would probably also alleviate some sell pressure too, because more people would want to hold on to it.
Right.
And does the halvening process change because of this, or does it still stay the same?
So I don't know if Ethereum has a defined halvening process. I think what my understanding is that once it gets to this point, I don't think they're going to have it anymore. I think it's just going to increase by that 0.04%.
Yeah, because that's already their funneling mechanic that they're already involving, right? So I wouldn't see a reason on why they'd have to still continue to have the supply.
Right. And there's a really good thread by this person, Montana Wong, and we will link that one as well. I'm just going to bring it up here so that I could share it in chat. But I think that this is definitely an interesting read for sure. it gives me more to be excited about with this merge.
And for those of you, sorry.
No, go, Alan. Continue.
And for those of you who also don't know too much about the merge, I mean, kind of like me, which I kind of just watched a YouTube video on not too long ago by Finematics.
I love that. I love them.
Very, 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 very informative channel, and I love their YouTube videos. They'll definitely link their 2.0 merge into the description for you guys to watch as well, because I feel like everybody should be watching their channel if you're within the crypto space, because they definitely give a lot of well thought out information on it.
That, and their videos are just very well done, very easy to understand, very graphical in nature, not just someone sitting there talking to you about something, which I think is super important. Man, I'd love to even get them on this pod one time. They really, yeah. I'm so happy that you know about them too, because I watch them all the time. And
they're amazing, man. I've learned a lot from them. Ever since I started becoming more dwelled within the spaces. Mm-hmm. They definitely are one of the big credible sources on why I've learned the information that I have up till now.
Yeah, but definitely check out this Twitter thread that I gave you as well, because I think that there's some really good information there. We'll also link the Finematics stuff because, like Alan said, I think they're worth watching for sure. But now that we've had this kind of discussion, we're talking about the merge. What do we think is going to be like the short term kind of reaction by the market after this merge? And by the way, I definitely want to get some Ethereum so I can run a node at this point, because if ETH is going to be deflationary and I can run a node, a validator node, and earn that, whatever it's like 4% is kind of like the projection. I mean, 4% of ETH that will continue to appreciate over time on top of what you're compounding already. It should be a good amount of money.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I bet.
I mean, we're already seeing a lot of those tokens. I think we were talking about this yesterday. Rocket Pool, Lido, those tokens are starting to pump because they're associated with the merge. I actually want to look into Rocket Pool a little more because I feel like that could be a good opportunity to earn money too. Because you can run a node and support it with other people who want to run nodes, and then you'll collect some of the fees in Rocket Pool that they're generating. The only thing that I always dislike about these things, though, is that there's always sell pressure. When something issues tokens, there's always sell pressure because people are getting rid of their tokens. They don't want to hold that token. They want to turn it into something else. Mm. And Agreed. There's no one who really wants the token.
No, it's just mercenary capital going to where the highest yield is.
Yeah.
Draining it dry and then moving on to the next. I think that in the short term, the narrative for the merge, I mean, even historically over the past month, 6 weeks, 2 months, Ethereum led this bear market rally. And I think that very much that was in part with this narrative, this merge that was driving this narrative, and therefore causing Ethereum to be the leader. I do believe that crypto at this point in time is still heavily tied to kind of those boomer markets and the American economy. And I think that if we zoom out more, that we will still, I think it's still argued, and this is just a bear market rally to me. I think that fundamentally we will see new lows on Ethereum, or I guess maybe technically looking at charts, we would see still new lows. And I have no idea how high this bear market would go, or will go. But
you mean how low?
What yeah. I don't know how low, and I don't know how high this bear market rally will go. Like we could
long?
still. Yeah,
when you say high, I keep thinking up, but bear is like down.
High of the bear is
the bear market rally, right? So this rally going up, we went from 1K to 1,800 or something.
Oh, this particular. Okay, so it's a rally within the bear market. Now I understand.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
So
I misunderstood.
I don't know how high it could go. I mean, 2,500, 3,000. I'm not good at predicting this, but I don't think that I will be buying this narrative because I think I missed it personally, even with the merge still yet to occur and the possibility of deflationary Ethereum based on high transactions. I don't know. My belief is buying later when I don't know, when SPY seems like it's bottomed out.
Okay, I like that. I like that suggestion.
I would kind of think the opposite. I feel like this might be, in my personal opinion, for me to just kind of accumulate as much as I can possibly during this time and take the opportunity for it. Because I
Mhm.
mean, again, I completely agree with you saying this still is more of a you know American market controlled ecosystem in terms of how everything operates, and I still definitely do believe that it is a boomer market, and it's going to take time for when crypto kind of evolves to what we kind of see it to be. But alongside of that, I feel like as much as crypto is still new, do you think that kind of a question I'm adding in here is, do you think that these nodes and the merge could kind of change the consensus of crypto right now during the bear market, and maybe change the catalyst of what would be happening to crypto right now as well?
I
Maybe add a
mean,
flip side to it,
that's a great question, Alum, and I don't know if I'm
or
qualified to
possibly
even
how long it would even take for that to happen, alongside of
Mhm.
how long
No,
parallel bear
I
market is.
understand. I understand what you're saying. I don't have an answer because I don't think I've done enough research to know.
Hmm.
I do know that there are a lot of validators right now. We're over validated in terms of staking because I think like there's a threshold where you get diminishing returns. That being said, there's still a lot of what ifs too because what if the miners try to pull some stuff right towards the end there? Like what if they all just decide to stop validating? Would the Ethereum chain come to a complete halt?
Huh. That's an interesting question. Yeah, I
Mm,
don't know.
And then what? So like
yeah,
um I think that the miners are definitely a wild card in an area of uncertainty.
definitely.
The other thing that you said about the stakers and the validators, I should say, I think that that's definitely an area of uncertainty also. So, there are some legitimate concerns about everything that's happening, and it's just a wait and see kind of thing. But, the good thing is that we've got institutional investors coming in and they're coming in heavy. We just heard about BlackRock partnering with Coinbase to offer cryptocurrency products to their investors.
Mhm.
We know that some of the major banks like Citibank and Chase are definitely involved in Ethereum or Ethereum-like blockchains. So, knowing that, I mean, no matter how I think about it, like, of course, Bitcoin is going to be first mover and it's going to be the name synonymous with cryptocurrency, but I don't see any other like chain even coming close to what Ethereum is doing right now and is capable of, period.
And how quickly it's being processed too, right? So, and
Yeah.
during the time it's in, and how it's changing, and
I mean, how many times has Solana been stopped?
I'll flood my bags.
we got a Solana bull right here.
Oh
No,
man, I have some Sol too. Don't
yeah,
don't
I'm
get
kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, no, Soul gets. It's like I don't
Yeah,
know
shot pretty hard.
the slow cousin, dude. It's not great. But nonetheless, Ethereum's obviously a clear leader, obviously in terms of like market control and recognition from like institutional investors. So yeah, totally agreed. The merge is definitely the right step towards adoption, and I think that's great. But I don't think that it. I don't. I think that sometimes I see some people on Twitter treat the merge as like the merge is going to happen and Ethereum's price is just going to like teleport to like $3,000
And what if it
so.
does?
And like, yeah, what if it does? If it does, I'm wrong. I find that ludicrous.
I do
I don't
too.
think,
I do
but
too.
but yeah, no. What if it does, man? Then I'll
But
just be
stranger
sitting
things have happened, right? In
and
crypto,
coping on the sidelines.
there's
Yeah.
gonna be
And
a lot of copium if that happens.
Oh my god.
that's also where I find the excitement, because it's just such a foggy pathway that everyone's kind of walking in right now, just kind of throwing their flashlights in different direction, kind of find like a door. And I find, like, honestly, that's where the excitement comes, because I'm just excited to see what plays out, and getting into more of a specific and more niche concept of how is it going to change NFTs? How is it going to change Magic specifically? Are we going to see more NFTs come out with projects having more node platforms? Are we going to see different projects catering towards the merge and kind of linking itself towards it in a matter to help benefit it? Or maybe that might be a new specific way of miners to kind of unleash their potential as well. Who knows what might happen towards it? or even Magic specifically might have something to do with the nodes as well. Maybe they're planning something to do that might correlate towards it as well. It just
Yeah,
kind
there's
of
definitely a lot of what ifs.
definitely, and it's just kind of exciting to see, how it's going to change and what the impact is going to be and how big the impact is going to eventually get.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Definitely.
I think it's really important because we're all Magic is always subject to those macro conditions. It's not separate yet. One thing that I was just curious about was Jewel. Because we always talked about what was the name of that NFT project that Jewel is associated with?
DeFi Kingdoms.
DeFi Kingdoms, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, I remember playing DeFi Kingdoms.
What was it? It was just a walkabout, right? So DeFi Kingdoms right now is at 17 cents. Okay, from an all-time high of $22.
Wow.
I remember those days. Because there was an insane amount. Well, they had like a lot of drama. There's a lot of institutional investors that had tokens
Mhm.
invested and they just
Mhm.
dumped
Mhm.
dumped on
Right.
lockup. It was
Right.
the
Right. Right.
exact opposite of Magic's lockup.
Mhm.
Two, they had some funny business happening from the team, and I this is a distant memory, so forgive me if any of this is like slightly off. But I thought that there's essentially a wallet that was identified as either one team members or the collective team's wallet that was dumping tokens that should not have been dumping
Mhm.
when the price was like exceptionally high. So I think that people lost interest pretty quickly because of those reasons. But man, yeah, I remember questing 3 times a day on wow. Yeah. January 4th, $22.23. What a euphoric time that was.
And now look at where they're at. Now if we look at Magic itself, right? If we look at Magic, all of a sudden, Magic is like looking way better. Because yeah, it might have gone up to what was the highest? $6? I remember, Alum, you were
Yeah.
like freaking out at
Yeah,
$6.
it was around six
You were like
dollars. I think
you were
six
like
dollars
ready
thirty
to like go to the moon yourself. Um, but now, I mean, granted, it's at 70 cents, but even so, it's it's doing better than Jewel is. Jewel hasn't even like breathed. So, and plus, think about all the projects that are going on in the Magic ecosystem, right?
Yep.
I mean, if you just go to the Trove marketplace, was it Trove? Oh, they have some analytics on the Trove marketplace, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Just kind of.
Let's see, sales. I mean, there's sales happening every 5 minutes or so. It looks like not a lot of Magic, some Ethereum being traded too. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of Magic being traded. Legionel auxiliaries are still going for about 300 Magic, which is basically what it costs to summon one, right?
Yeah.
What about treasures? The floor, over 30 days, the floor has really dropped on treasures. Not too much volume, although in the past couple days, it seems like the volume has gone up a little bit. But that's one of the things we wanted to talk about because we've talked about a lot of projects on this pod over the first couple of months. We talked about Knights of the Ether, which I think Dion, you were pretty interested in.
Yeah.
Let's see how they're looking with the Squires. Well, their volume has significantly dropped over the past couple of days, but they're sitting at about a 59 Magic floor. Do we know where they're at in terms of their life cycle? Is there I remember they had somewhat of a game built out, no?
Yeah. When we had Knights of the Ether on, they already had discussions to basically make their like Slay the Spire-esque game where it's kind of like turn-based and you progress along
Right.
3 different acts. I believe beta is coming out sometime in Q3, if I remember correctly from our conversation. They're supposed to have some sort of alpha maybe later this month. So that's a really good question. I'll see if I can find that out. But yeah, Knights of the Ether is actually, I think, going to be an incredibly fun game, and I'm very excited for it.
Then, we talked about Realm 2 on this pod a couple times. I mentioned earlier that we're trying to get Jonah, the developer, to come on and join us for an episode. I know that they're coming out with a new, so they've iterated a lot, at least recently. No, they have just released their well, I don't know if it's just released, but they kind of released their, I guess, phase 2 of their project, if you will. And now you can build cities and there's more collectibles, and it seems like there's more of a market on the Trove marketplace for a lot of these different items. So I think that's pretty exciting to see that they're kind of adding more to their project. Now, more recently, we talked about Arcane, and let me see what Arcane is up to. So recently, August 5th, Arcane announced a partnership with LifeDAO. The Life NFTs will be joining Arcane, which is kind of exciting too, because I have one of those Life NFTs. I think you have one too, right, Alan?
Yes, I do.
So that should be very interesting. I think that that's their most recent episode. Before that was most recent update. Before that, they had an update towards the end of June where they added a trailer. So I think not too much has been updated on Arcane since the last time we spoke to them. Another one that we kind of were really interested in was Pills.
Yeah.
Have they remember that demo? That demo was really good.
Oh yeah.
That was good.
Let's see where they're at. So they just keep releasing assets. There's going to be a tabletop role playing game, and they're almost ready to release on Arbitrum testnet. So it seems like they're getting close to releasing something that people can play. So that's pretty exciting there too. How's your Toadstools doing, Alan?
Honestly, I have not checked it in a while. Not gonna lie, I should be checking it out because honestly, that is a project that I'm definitely in favor in. So I should honestly check up on that. Honestly, right after this, and think that's honestly a great reminder. So I definitely have to get back on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we're trying to get Toadstools on as well, so hopefully we'll have them towards the end of August, maybe early September. And then there was one other that I wanted to talk about. Battlefly. They released, what was that? The racer game,
The racer
Yeah.
game is finally out.
which I have to say was pretty fun too. I haven't played it a lot, but they definitely have leaderboards, and I think you can win prizes if you're at the top of the leaderboard. I think they're going to be doing seasons. So definitely check out Battlefly if you have some of those. Do you guys still have your Battleflies?
Yep.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, I
I
don't think I'm
I played
selling
that
them.
game a few times, and it is hard. I have no idea how many times those at the top of the leaderboard, play that game. But props to them because
Mhm.
I could not even get close.
Well, right now the floor on Battleflies is 59 magic, which is actually pretty cheap. You could probably get some good Battleflies. Not
Yeah,
that any of the attributes mean anything right now.
and also for Toadstools as well, their floor price. I kind of feel like the whole range, just in general in Magic or just Trove Marketplace, a lot of the floor prices have dropped. I mean, even for
Mhm.
small brains, if we look at it now, small brains are even touching in Magic about 1,097 right now. So the whole Trove Marketplace, just all of the floor prices have kind of just dropped, even for Toadstools and all of them. So I
Mhm.
mean, again, it was expected to happen. At least for me, I kind of taken into consideration that this was kind of going to be the case, especially seeing how low the activity was on
Mhm.
Trove for the last quite a bit of the weeks. And honestly, I'm not surprised. But again, when we look at a macro perspective, I hope we can kind of understand why all this is also happening. So
Yeah. I also am looking at City Clash. They released their game. They had their mint. Right now, if you go to their website, you can see there's a leaderboard, and right now the green team is winning, and the blue team has no points, which doesn't seem like to
Whoa.
me that that's the way the game should be working. So I'm very curious to see if the game is working out as the developers had intended.
Wow. Yeah, the blue team looks like they're getting absolutely stomped.
Yeah. What other projects have we discussed? Oh, well, Castle DAO, we talked to the Castle DAO team recently, and they have their small brawlers coming soon. And I know some people won some whitelists for that as well when we spoke with them. We have Small Age, which was one of our more recent episodes, as was Small Kong. So I don't think there have been much updates there. And Magic Potions. Alan, what's going on with Magic Potions?
yeah, so Magic Potions also had their mint. Went again. decent compared to how the activity is on Trove right now. So again, went pretty well. Right now, there's about 25 listed, and there's about 2.6% compared to how much were actually bought. And again, kind of expected how it was kind of going to go based on the activity of Trove. But honestly, I'm kind of excited again to see how things are going to play out for potions, for Magic Potions, and they're also the first project that's releasing for Trove Arenas. So kind of waiting for other competitors on that as well. If you guys haven't looked at that yet.
Wait, what is Trove Arenas?
So it's arena collections. So it's basically an area of Trove where again new Magic collections basically compete against each other to kind of prove themselves on which project is the best. And Magic Potions was the first one to be relaunched on there.
Okay.
And basically they kind of had to meet the criteria and qualifications to be part of it, and then they kind of compete against other competitive collections to see how they're doing. And I guess considering that's based off floor price and activity and all that kind of stuff. And so they're one of the first collections on there. The mint went well, and there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes for them. And honestly, I'm excited to see what they're doing. And the whole team has kind of just been working behind the scenes for the last quite a few months now, honestly. And they've been releasing a few sneak peeks here and there, but most of their information is still yet to come because they're definitely planning on something big. I can say that for sure. And I'm personally excited for it. Just kind of waiting for when the time is right and when things are going to pick themselves back up.
Okay, cool. Let's see now. I got some data on Bridge World. Let's see how the activity of Bridge World is going. User metrics. Here we go. We have 10.6 thousand unique stakers, 1.1 thousand crafters. 1,100 crafters, and then 2,300 unique summoners. So there's definitely still some activity going on in Bridge World.
Yeah.
Let's see. From a staking perspective, there's 222.5 million magic deposited. 20 million has been harvested. Let's see. Again, almost 11,000 stakers. And we have 58 million locked for 12 months, 11 million locked for 6 months, 20 million locked for 3 months, 33 million locked for 1 month, and almost 100 million locked for 2 weeks. And then from the summoning perspective, they've summoned 27,000 legions so far. Yeah. And I'm trying to understand this. So magic spent, auxiliary commons, almost 3 million magic. I'm not really sure what that means. There's some very interesting stats here. Questing is still going strong. There have been over 1.2 million quests started. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that's been going really well without any hiccups has been the Magic Dragon DAO, which still seems to be working pretty well. They're offering a 43.59% APR. They got all the boosts, grins, and honeycombs there, and you can just stake your magic in the dragon and just keep earning more magic.
Yeah, Magic Dragon DAO going strong. I love to hear that. I think that is a necessary and integral part of the ecosystem for it to succeed.
Yeah, and they have almost 16 million magic locked, which is equivalent to about $11 million right now, US dollars, that is. Although their deposits are paused. So as a mitigation to Arbitrum global gas limitations before Arbitrum Nitro is released, we're updating rewards claiming to be executed in batch daily to vastly reduce gas requirements for every transaction. Please check our Discord for more updates. The Dragon appreciates your patience. Let's see what their analytics say. So it seems like there was a lot of magic deposited on May 10th. Actually, these doesn't look like, it's going backwards. So as of July 19th, they stopped accepting deposits, is what it looks like. So right now you can have your magic staked in there, but I don't think anything's going on at the moment other than earning magic rewards, I believe. But I think that they're going to be working on their own token, the MDD token, I think it is. And they're going to be working with SushiSwap as well, which brings me to my final thought, which I want to get your guys' take on this. SushiSwap has announced that they are going to have an omni-chain exchange. How do we feel about that?
That's excite. Can we talk about what that means? I don't know. I don't know if I could kind of explain that concept to someone else. Is it just I can visit Sushi Swap on whatever chain I choose? Like every chain they're going to be there. Is that what it means?
Well, right now, if you go to their website, you can check out the beta for it. And right now they have listed Ethereum, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Polygon, Phantom, Binance, and Optimism. So you'll be able to use Sushi with any one of those chains and swap between them with any token that's tradable on Sushi, which, holy cow, there's a lot of them. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
obviously, there's probably got to be liquidity on the other side.
yeah.
So your mileage may vary.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I love Sushi Swap, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting to me. I can't wait to lose money on different chains.
Well, right now,
Very
if
much.
you were on the Ethereum mainnet and you had 100 Ethereum, you could change that. You could, and which is equivalent to about 170,000 US dollars. You could trade that into 163,000 US dollars worth of magic. So you're going to get 100 Ethereum is going to get you about 230,000 magic tokens. Obviously, not an ideal swap. If
Yeah.
we changed this to the Arbitrum, actually, this is very interesting. So if I'm swapping on Arbitrum 100 Ethereum, I actually get less magic than if I did the bridge.
Really?
It's weird. Yeah.
Huh. I wonder where that is.
Maybe because the pool on the Ethereum mainnet is bigger than the pool on the Arbitrum net.
Oh, I could see that.
But yeah, really interesting stuff there. You guys have any final thoughts? I think we covered a lot of topics in this episode, and it was good to catch up with you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, the only thing I'd say is just kind of stay on your computers for the next little bit. Be ready for stuff to kind of come pop out. Kind of get back to your old habits a little bit, back what we used to see in the last couple of months of just staying glued to your computer. So
Right.
kind of get into a tiny bit of a habit, a little bit that just for a short period of time to see how things
Check in
roll.
daily. Check in
Check in
daily.
daily.
Checking on your friends, right?
Yes,
Checking on your
definitely.
friends.
Checking on your friends, pop in any of the Discords you're in, and for sure I'll be popping a lot more into the one Discord with everyone here, and pop into the Magic Hour Discord as well. Talk to us and see what your insights are. We can definitely have a chat on what your predictions or analytics might be of what's to come for the merge or whatever we talked about today. And just stay on the edge of your seats for the next little bit, and let's see what kind of unfolds together. Honestly, that's kind of all I have to really say.
Those are some great final thoughts, Alan. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm absolutely stoked for what Arbitrum has in store for the month of September. Come Nitro with this new Nova launch with Arbitrum Odyssey and the long fabled and hopefully awaited airdrop of the Arbitrum token. I am extremely excited for what's to come. I think that a rising tide what floats
Lifts all boats. Yeah.
lifts all boats. Yeah. And I think that's going to be the case on Arbitrum for a variety of protocols, especially Magic. So can't wait for that.
I agree, and also great final thoughts there, Dion. I think that you guys both are right on the money. I think it almost feels like, and maybe we're just manifesting it, but it feels like everybody kind of went on vacation for summer break, and now everybody's kind of getting back to reality, and like, hold on, we took a step back, we all got refreshed, feeling good, and now we're gonna get back to the grind a little bit. And that concludes another episode of Magic Hour, friends. If you like what you hear, please like and subscribe to our YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you can listen to your podcasts. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Hour Pod. All the links are found on our link tree, which is in the show notes. From all of us, we appreciate your support for Bridge World.